Everyone on this, don't mind me, I'm rolling out. Everyone on this app is like, where are all the hot guys in New York City? I go to these bars, I bar hop, and I see zero hot men. Where are they? They're running, babes. Unfortunately, they're running on the East River or the West Side Highway. More so on the West Side Highway, so way more eye candy last weekend when I ran there. Sometimes Central Park is good, but I think the rivers are your best bet. They go to bed early on the weekend and they wake up and they run. That's where the hot men are at.
So I'm ordering old fashions, dirty martinis, and these bars. Then we're going out to steak dinners with my coworkers, and we're ordering expensive bottles of wine. And I'm showing up at home wasted. And I start resenting my husband because he's just like any normal husband probably would do. Like, what are you doing coming home on a Tuesday night at 10:30? Drunk out of your mind? Like, where were you? And so I realized then that I couldn't be married anymore. I was like, this is not going to work out for me because, and again, I'm spinning the truth. I'm telling my family, he's so controlling. I got to get out of this relationship. I mean, he's insecure. It's just, I'm just saying whatever I need to make my family be like, I mean, that doesn't sound anything like him, but like, I guess, yeah, if you're unhappy, go for it. Not go for it. Obviously, my family wasn't like, yeah, get divorced. But I mean, they were like, if it's going to make you happy, like, I guess you have to do what's going to make you happy.
And they don't know the real reason why. Yeah.
My mom will still say to this day, she watches my TikToks and she's like, I didn't know that you were hiding all this drinking from your ex, like my ex. And I was like, yeah, I know you didn't because I did whatever I could to make you not know. And my ex-husband would not tell my parents because he knew that would just piss me off. Yeah. So he protected me in a sense, which beginning of December. And I get home and I'm like, I'm moving out. And he's just like, what? And I'm like, yep, I don't want to be married anymore. I want freedom. I feel like you're controlling me. You are always wondering where I am. Just like, yeah, of course he is. But I couldn't, it didn't make sense to me. And I'm experiencing this life of going out and not being tied down to anyone. And I'm like, this is what I missed all throughout my 20s because I was in a serious relationship from the moment I got out of college to now, and I'm 30 years old. And so I just didn't, so again, I'm justifying. I'm like, I just need a couple years of going out in New York, get it out of my system. I just need it out of my system. It's just all pent up and I definitely don't have a problem. It's just me needing to live life a little bit. So I move out. That divorce was heartbreaking for him. And for me, but I didn't experience the heartbreak until after I got sober because I drank through it all.
I've got some great tips for the matriarchy or for self-confidence, especially if you're new to the gym. Here are some responses that you can do when a man comes up to you. The first is to stare and to not respond at all. You don't have to, you just stare and hold it. You know, it'll be uncomfortable, but you don't have to feel uncomfortable. Hold the stare and he'll leave. The second one is my personal favorite, and it's, pardon me. It's polite, it's elegant. We don't owe men politeness, of course, but I think it does behoove us to approach the world with more politeness in general. It also, if you're like me and you're afraid of a lot of men because of your past experiences, it gives you some time to settle if you're already nervous. And it's quite confident sounding, right? Pardon me. And then most importantly, it requires that the man repeat himself. So if he's being a goon, it requires him to repeat what he said. And a lot of them are immediately too scared because that's just how they are. But if he's being, proper and approaching you with good intentions, he'll just say what he's saying again. And again, gives you time to recuperate, to get your heart rate down, to feel comfortable. So, pardon me. Third one is, I'm happy with my muscle-mind connection. If the guy comes up to you and he's like trying to tell you different form stuff, I'm not saying that you're going to know everything, right? Like, and maybe he does know, but when you're at the gym and you start doing lifting regularly, you notice how poorly so many men lift. I don't need, I'm happy with my muscle-mind connection. Thank you.
Or you could just say, thank you. When somebody tries to give you a tip or somebody tries to help you out, you say, thank you. I appreciate that, because they're trying to look out for you and make your life better. Imagine that. Which is why I'm excited about today's sponsor, Anson Belt and Buckle. These guys are family owned, been doing it since 2009, and have completely reinvented how belts should work. So instead of those holes that you have on your belt, I know I have them on mine that have been there for a long time. Anson uses this micro adjustable track system with they're like a 1/4 inch increments. So the belt is going to fit perfectly every time. That's what I love about it. You don't have to guess. It fits every single time. And because you have this micro adjustable track system, it's going to give you that perfect fit every single time. And trust me, after you try one of these belts, you're not going to want to go back to the belt that you had before. And one of the biggest things for me is you can mix and match any buckle with any strap. So you're always going to have that belt that's going to match your outfit perfectly without having to go out there and buy dozens of belts that are going to clutter up your closet like me, right? Ever since receiving these belts, I have about 10 or 15, and I'm not joking with you, 10 or 15 belts in there that I can remove because, like I said, you can mix and match belt buckles and straps to get different combinations. And another thing that I would add is it's not just about, oh, I look good. It's not just about style. It's about feeling more comfortable, confident. I would say confident, and just an overall sense of feeling more polished in what you wear. You know what I mean? Anson belts adjust. They adjust with you throughout the day. So whether you might be standing a lot, you might be sitting, or you might be on the move. Whatever you're doing, you're always comfortable, and then you always look sharp doing that. And once you try this thing, trust me, you will not go back to your old belt. For what? The thing is obsolete. Why would you try to struggle and twist and turn when this thing, click, and you're going on about your day? And if you're like me, I'm pretty skeptical about a lot of stuff, but these guys are family owned and operated. And when I look at the reviews, I think they have somewhere around 40,000 plus 5-star reviews. When I look at that, I'm like, oh, family owned, been in business since 2009. It makes me trust that they're going to do me right. And because Anson Belt and Buckle is sponsoring today's video, when you click the link in the description or scan the QR code to build a box set, you'll get 2 bonus pieces, a buckle and a strap completely free. That's 3 buckles and 3 straps, which can be mixed and matched into 9 unique belt combos, all in one box. It's an exclusive deal you won't get anywhere else. So click the link, build your set, and upgrade your belt game today.
And the thing I hear most from women when they're in a social situation is, I'm out, I'm single, I'm ready to mingle, I look amazing, and no men approach me ever. They don't even try. They don't even come up to me. And so men have gotten a lot of mixed signals around, the reality is the difference between a romantic moment and a creepy moment is the perceived attractiveness of the person who initiates it.
Yep.
And men don't want to be that guy.
What part of dating is exhausting to men? Is it the emotional aspect of dating? Is it the physical aspect of dating? What's so tiring about it for men? I was exhausted with dating, and then I started working on myself and exhaustively. I know what I'm looking for and I know what I'm worth. Obviously, no one's perfect. We all have work to do. But I guess I just really want to understand, are men exhausted with women or are they exhausted with themselves?
Hey, help me settle a debate that I had with a friend. My theory was that men do not chase women like how they used to anymore is because a lot of women are open to commitment, open to relationships, they're healing, they're doing the work, and therefore good women are more common than rare. So I feel as though men have more options, where I don't believe, unfortunately, a lot of men are doing the kind of work that's required to be in a committed relationship in this generation. And they were saying, my friend was saying, good women are still rare to find. However, access has become more prevalent through social media, dating apps, low effort intimacy. Therefore, men who are not doing the work or prefer not to do too much emotional work that are preferring low effort intimacy. What do you think?
How are you to be rare to find, but then also common? How are you going to be both at the same time? We're still rare, but we're still common. Not all of y'all are good people. Number one. Number two, all of you guys are dating coaches. So all of y'all know, oh, you guys are not doing the work that's required to be in a relationship. Says who? Y'all not getting men to approach you. Says who? Y'all not getting the men that y'all are wanting to wife you, that you are wanting to hook up with you. Y'all are not getting men where you have staunch competition and you have to really stand out. Y'all are not getting those type of men because you can't stand out, because you're not rare. You're common. Just like every other normal, average, everyday human. You're common. So why don't you find a man that's normal? Have to be up in the sky, all that other nonsense. I'm normal, like you. I don't have a lot of baggage. I don't have all of this social media following or whatever. I don't really care to have it. I just want to be with you and enjoy my life. You, my kids, that's what you guys want. Building our legacy together. But you guys want something different. I don't know what that is. You guys think that you guys are celebrities or something like that. No.
Men don't stay with a good woman because it is comfortable for them to stay down. When you're around a hoe, she's not going to ask how you're feeling because she does not care. Many men like that because they don't care about themselves. So it feels good to be around people who also don't care. When people care about you, it challenges you to get better. But when they don't, you can be whoever the hell you want.
Why do you think so many men feel like the dating game is stacked against them right now?
God, men are continued to be persuaded into selecting women who are signaling for short-term dating. And the reason that I say that is men, and this is proven across time, across cultures, they have discernment around short-term dating and mating versus long-term dating and mating. And the reason that that's important is women now, with the cultural changes, with feminism, with the influence of empowerment via promiscuity, they're all signaling for short-term mating strategies. And so men are attracted to these women. They'll sleep with these women. They certainly will come, but they don't stay. And so women say that they want long-term partners, and the expectation of men is to be everything that a long-term mate would be, but they're not signaling the right things for men to commit to, nor would they want to. And so now it's making men the enemy for not wanting to commit to women who are not up to the standards that men have when it comes to choosing a woman to commit to long term. And so the confusion and the frustration for men is that there are no viable, not many viable mates as far as options when it comes to somebody that they could actually settle down with, commit to, and build a family with. And so the frustration for men is valid. They're not confused, they're wise. And women can either continue to attack men and say that they shouldn't have standards, or they're insecure, or they're controlling, or they're whatever they want to label them, to deflect any level of accountability or awareness around maybe their behavior or the way that they present themselves or how they carry themselves or their history with access and sexuality is not at all what men actually want nor look for when it comes to a woman to settle down with.
I really don't like talking about my dating life on here, but I'm going to, just for one reason. So I got stood up today, and this gentleman was frustrated and annoyed because the location was in the wrong place, because we had organized in one location. He was running 10 minutes late. He didn't get my message because he didn't have reception. And so when he did find the message, when his reception came back online, it was in a different location, and he was pissed off that he had to drive 5 minutes down the road. And so he was like, let's just reschedule for another time. I'm feeling gross and hot. And then we refused to answer my calls, all my messages saying, hey, let's just work something out together. No, didn't hear from him. I had walked 15 minutes up the hill to meet him, And so I decided, okay, fine. I went home, and then he messaged me half an hour later to say, I'm sorry, I was just really frustrated, speak soon. And I was like, no. A man who cannot regulate his nervous system is not a potential partner. If he can't communicate, problem solve, and actually regulate himself to calm his nervous system down to get through stuff, then there is no hope for a relationship with a man like that. So if ladies, gentlemen, if you're in a situation where you've just started dating someone and they show you these signs from the beginning, all I can say is run. Do not walk, run, and close that door, because it will only get worse.
But he did communicate. He said he was feeling gross, yucky, and disgusting. Since y'all were in a specific area, it sounds like y'all were in an area where signal was limited. And so he went home or wherever he went, and he actually did start to regulate his emotions. And he said, hey, I'm sorry about everything. We'll talk soon. Had a bad day, right? That's called communication. You'll find in relationships that you will have more than a handful of those days, right? So just going based off of that, once again, these women call themselves experts, or they make it seem like they're experts. They talk like they're experts, but really they don't know what the heck they're talking about.
I know y'all said it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad. And I'm talking about the dating pool. So, story time. I met this guy at Walmart. I seen him checking out, and I looked at him, and I seen him, and we made eye contact. So he was still checking out, and I just walked away. And so he followed me, and I went, good. So, like, first good sign, he is approaching me. So he followed me. I was walking real slow so he could catch up. So he followed me, and he started talking to me, and he got my number, and we started talking. And long story short, he went missing for a few days. So I was like, So I called him. And then the next day, he called me twice, but I was asleep. And then he called me the next day again. And then when I answered, he basically was just like, yo, what's up? You called me? Or did you mean to call me? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, what's up with you? I'm just like, like, do you have a girlfriend now or something? Because, you haven't hit me up in a couple days. Like... He's like, no, I just felt like you weren't very interested. And I'm just like, he's like, yeah, I'm talking to somebody now. And I'm just like, the last time we spoke, we were talking about a date. But you were saying how if a girl really likes you, you don't need to take her on a date or something like that. I was like, so I guess, I don't know. I guess he said that I wasn't very interested in him because he was talking about meeting up late night after he got off work. And I was just like, no, we need to plan a date for our first meet. Like, at least, like, I don't. But I was like, how did I not seem interested when every time you called I would answer or I would return your call and I wanted to go on a date with you? How does that not show interest? Oh, well, you weren't calling me and texting me. Like, basically, so I'm like, you just said you want reciprocation, but reciprocation is you calling me and me answering. You planning the date and me agreeing and going to the date. That's reciprocation. What you want is initiation. You want me to initiate the calls. You want me to plan, like, what else you want me to do? Plan the dates? And like, no, like this is like a representation of most of the men out here, and this is why I'm single, and this is why most of the men that I speak with don't last too long, because if I'm not calling them first or texting them first, they're gonna think I'm not interested. When every time you call me, I answer and I'm more than enthusiastic to speak to you, and I'm like, damn, when are we gonna have our date? Like, I'm more than interested in going on dates and stuff like that, but I'm not interested in sitting playing text and phone tag all fucking day long. Like, what? And like, I feel like that's like what the new dating pool is. Like, a lot of people just want to have like minimal effort.
So basically, in one form or fashion or another, he felt like he was chasing you around. And it doesn't seem like you heard that. Once again, you think like most modern women think, and that is the man should always initiate. And that's why you never really do a whole lot for your man. And that's why men are not approaching anymore, because they know they're probably going to get some form or version of, well, I'm not going to initiate anything. So they're going to have to ask for it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And they're tired of doing that.
So this guy that's been trying to take me out, finally picked a day. And so I was like, okay, well, what time and where? And he said, well, I don't know. Do you like coffee? Now, on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being super bitch and 0 being no bitch at all, can I respond never on a first date?
This is the exact attitude that is honestly exhausting for men. My honest advice is to please show this attitude off as soon as possible to the men that you're speaking to, because at least then they will have an honest take of who you are as a person and how it would be to be in a relationship with you. And then at least that man will be free to either just focus on his own piece or find somebody else to focus on.
I'm trying so hard here to figure out what the actual fuck is wrong with men. Like, what the fuck is wrong with men? Just what the fuck is wrong with men? I'm going to give you a little bit of context. This guy started pursuing me, right? And there's been no ask out of a date. I literally told him I am free tonight. I am free tonight till 9:30. And he just said to me, enjoy the peace. Am I the issue? Like, why? Like, okay, so what's the point in talking to somebody if you're not planning on meeting up with them? I'm giving you my free time, telling you I'm free for a few hours, and I get back. Enjoy the peace. Enjoy the peace. If someone's not interested in you, don't fucking pursue them, and don't act like you want to see them and then say, oh yeah, I'll make plans, but then never make plans. Like, bro, like, do you just like the attention? I am so done with dating. And I haven't even been on a date. And I'm so done with dating. If you say you want to see someone, then actually follow through and see said person. Fuck my actual chungus life.
Well, I know what it probably sounds like to you, but to him it probably sounds like, oh, well, you only got a few hours of my time, so make it quick. You know what I mean? Like if a man were to say to you, hey, and when they do say, hey, why don't we go out for coffee? You know, it's low cost, it's low risk. You know, we can go there and we can just sit there and talk. You know, if it goes well, more than 45 minutes where we can be there for a few hours, however long. Men get pushback on this. Oh man, I don't think that we should be going on a coffee date. They get pushback because it seems like it's, you know, it's too limiting. It's too restricted, right? Or to you guys, it's too casual. It's not formal enough, right? You're not taking me seriously by going out and giving me coffee, right? So by the kind of the same token and the same line of thinking, you're putting a man on a strict schedule. Like, pick it up. You know, I'm not giving you but a few hours of my time. So you better make a first impression, a good impression, right? Nobody wants to feel like, I think somebody in the comments said I have better things to do, right? So you only have a few hours. And really, honestly and truly, it's kind of like sometimes we don't hear the full story of a lot of what these women are talking about. So we don't know the context of what could have happened before. So there might have been a conversation before to where, oh, I'm busy here, or I'm busy there, or, you know, just keep on trying and I'll let you know. Right. And so finally he says, well, I got a few hours. She says, well, I got a few hours, basically. And he says, well, you know, enjoy your freedom. Right. We don't see the text messages, so we don't know how it actually went through. I know a lot of times people in general think that they're being super clear over text message. That's why it's important to get on the phone and talk to that person or FaceTime that person to see exactly what they're saying in their body language, right? So a lot of this stuff honestly can be solved through a simple, I think I left her a comment and said, hey, what did I say? Is there something I said that offended you? I didn't know I said anything offensive. I thought I was saying, you know, when you asked me the question, I have a few hours free, so I'm available. I finally got my kid or whoever it is put off to the side. Let's go do something. I thought that's what I was saying. It's not begging, it's you clarifying, which once again, in a relationship, you're going to have to do a good bit of it till y'all get on the same page.
I don't know if I've heard a lot of people talk about this because I feel like I haven't, but as someone who is still in high school, a senior, I think it is pretty insane how normalized it is to be in high school, whether you're 14 through 18, and the boys our age, I can't even say men because they don't act like men, yet they want to be respected and treated as men, but they can't ask a girl out on a date anymore. Instead, they add them on Snapchat, on Instagram, DM them, whatever, get their number from a friend, pick them up in their car, go for a drive, and make out for however long.
Young lady, y'all are in high school. He's not going to have a lot of money. It is starting to sound like y'all want princess treatment. Like, these are young men and you're a young woman. It's starting to sound like, well, I mean, we have that example of a young lady, 15 years old, sending a request from Temu to a young man for $100. So hopefully this does not follow that same line of logic, even though I think it's looking like it.
20, 30, 45 minutes. I think it's crazy that that is the norm because either men or women, I respect myself. Okay, as a man, you should respect yourself. As a woman, you should respect yourself. And I highly respect myself. And I can't even pretend to meet up with someone and go make out with them. Yet alone these girls and these guys do this literally 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. I know countless of people where I live that just have kiss counts that just exceed what I thought was normal. And I have a very low kiss count. And I just think it's crazy because I am 18 years old and I don't think I've ever officially been asked out on a date. Maybe once or twice. Maybe a good 3 times in my whole high school, maybe 15 through 18. 3 years, good 3 years. You know, good age. Maybe been asked out like 3 times. And I don't know what's happening. When I get to college, are guys gonna suddenly start asking us out again? Because what happened to the knocking on my door or asking my father for permission or giving me flowers or opening the door for me? What happened to those kinds of men? I see them in movies because I know in movies we dream of that. We really do want that. As a woman, I want a man to open the door for me. Yes, I can open the door for myself. I know I can. But it goes both ways, right? It goes both ways. And I hate the fact that now all I see are my friends meeting up with random people, even strangers that they don't know, making out with them for 30 minutes. And now guys don't ask out girls on dates because either they're afraid, they think they're going to get rejected, they know the women don't respect themselves, so they think it's okay to just say, hey, when are we going to go make out? And I've gotten asked that way more times than I've ever been asked out on a date, and I've only been asked out like 3 times. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be asking out my husband on a date. That's not how it's going to work. I'm not going to ask out my boyfriend to go out with me. If you can't respect me enough and realize that it is your job as a man, I'm sorry, to ask me out on a date, to show respect for me, if you can't do that, then we have a problem. And the thing is, the problem is rising because I know way too many of my friends, my brother's friends, who just objectify women. And I don't mean that to be like, I'm not trying to get controversial or political. It should just be a fact that a man should ask out a woman on a date. If you're 16 years old, if you're 17 or 18 years old, however old you are, doesn't matter. The man should have the confidence and the respect to ask out a woman on a date. And the women need to have respect for themselves to actually answer the man. Like, I don't understand how many times men have asked out women and the women will just ignore them or, you know, say he's ugly or he's not worth her time, and they don't give them a chance. They don't give them a shot at all. If you're genuinely not attracted to them, okay. But why not just give them a shot? Women need to start respecting men and respecting themselves. I'm sorry. I really don't want to say I want to go back to the 19th century, but I really do. I know I'm supposed to be here at this time. I get that. I'm here at this time for a reason. But I want a man to ask me out on a date and not be afraid to call my dad and take me out. I'm not trying to sound annoyed, but I'm annoyed. Because am I ever going to have a husband or have a boyfriend? Because I have to do everything. I literally have to do everything. And I really do believe it's because us as women, we started not honoring ourselves and not respecting ourselves and our body and who we are. And we just give ourselves freely to a man and say, yeah, I'll go make out with you. And then it becomes the norm. It becomes a normal thing that all teenagers do. And I don't understand. Because where's the group of kids? Where are the people? I get that this has probably been a thing forever, but now it's so normal that literally no one asks anybody out anymore. I've asked my brother, why doesn't he just take out a girl on a date? And he says, well, you know, she's not pretty enough to date, or I don't know her that well. And then I said, but you're willing to go make out with her for 30 minutes in your car, but she's not worthy of your time to take her out on a date. She's not worthy of your gas money, or she's not worthy of your, you know, paycheck that you just made. I can't do it. So disrespectful. But they're disrespectful because we are disrespectful to ourselves. I truly believe that. I truly believe that women started disrespecting themselves. Like I said, they're not honoring themselves. And the men take that as a leeway to say, okay, well, you know, she's going to make out with me. What's the harm? What's the problem? They don't really understand. Yeah, I'm not saying there's not respectful men. I'm just saying, as a 18-year-old who has been in high school, through high school for 4 years, been asked out like 3 times and have been asked to make out with random strangers like 20 times. It's kind of insane. Let me know your thoughts.
So the 3 guys that asked you out, are you talking about guys that asked you out and that's who you wanted to ask you out and you had that opportunity? What happened to those guys in your high school, right? How many guys are you expecting to ask you out? A lot of women that are a lot older than you are expecting men, as they see on dating apps, they're expecting, if I can get this many guys on a dating app to like me, surely I can get this type of attention in real life. And they're stunned that all of the attention is online. Snapchat, Instagram, DMs. They're stunned that all of it is online. It's like, hey, why don't you get out of the DMs and just come up to me? Like that same energy that you had in the DMs, just transfer that energy to me in person. Well, it's because some of your friends, maybe yourself included here and there, maybe not, but some of your friends or there's a lot of these women out here that have shamed men for doing that. They have laughed at men, and maybe not in real life, as it's maybe not as intense in real life as it is in college and high school. Maybe not even as intense as it is in high school, right? So, you know, you can go to college. Yeah, some people hear about you trying to ask girls out, and it, you know, everybody's pretty much dispersed. It's a lot bigger, so maybe you don't get so embarrassed. Same thing with real life, even bigger, so you don't get super embarrassed. TikTok has kind of, you know, eliminated that element of escaping rejection without being embarrassed. People post you online, right? But in high school, it's small enough that everybody knows you. Everybody has probably seen you once or twice at least. Even if y'all are just passing in the hallway, somebody somewhere, even if they can't recall you, has seen you. So in that specific instance, you're probably, as a guy, thinking, well, you know, I really don't want to be embarrassed and then go through the next 4 years or so looking like a creep.
I saw a girl on here say, once you tell a guy you're not giving up the call, the date stop. And it's just like, y'all be thinking be going on that, look, and this should be common knowledge. Every nigga wanna crack. Like, ain't no nigga going on dates out the kindness of their heart, just spending money out the kindness of their heart. Niggas doing this to simply crack at some point. You know what I'm saying? If the cat hasn't been out the bag, it's out the bag now. Like, I thought this shit was common knowledge. And this is honestly the reason why they ain't really trying to go on dates no more, because it's just like, you want to get something out of it. And honestly, just realizing that the gamble of whether or not that may or may not happen ain't really worth the fucking risk. Like, everything has become transactional. It's like, I do this, what are you doing for me, and vice versa. And honestly, I feel like the only way to kind of like level this shit is to just take turns with the dates. You know what I'm saying? If bro pay one date, maybe you pay for yourself the next date, or someone's gonna feel entitled to something. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the problem is lying at.
80% of men don't even want to date anymore. Okay. So tap out. Nobody's forcing you. No one's begging. But why do you need a podcast, a TikTok, and a 12-page Reddit thread to whine about it? When women don't want to date this kind of man, we just don't. When men don't want to date this type of woman, they complain, they whine about it, they show up in the comment sections just to make sure we know you don't want to date us. And the funniest thing to me is that these men are not getting nothing from the relationships with women. It's that you're no longer getting unchecked control, free labor, and just a woman who sacrifices herself to keep you happy. What you're really mad about is that you used to be able to exploit women, and now women, they want a partnership. Now you're tired of dating. Now let's talk facts. I know, facts are hard for you, but let's talk facts. Married men are happier. Married men live longer. They're healthier. They have more sex. I mean, when they're not acting like entitled toddlers and their wives don't want to anymore. That's not true. Cite your sources, feminist. Sure, my pleasure. Pew, Harvard, the American Psychological Association, and every relationship study not run by some faceless account called Alpha Justice 77 on Reddit. Good women are offering men every day emotional intelligence, support, stability, nurturing, connection, partnership, assistance in remembering your mom's birthday. But go ahead, please, opt out, but own it. Stop acting like you're leading some kind of revolution. You're really just bitter that women stopped mothering you in exchange for breadcrumbs. You want the truth? The only men that are mad that women want equality are men who benefited from women not having it. The ones who benefited from the imbalance in the first place. So when you say men are done dating, I'm like, okay, who cares? Oh no, don't go. It's giving, you can't fire us, we quit. Women don't want to date and marry you anymore. But you can go ahead and pretend that you quit. It's cuter that way.
So I guess you're new to online. I guess it's your first time logging on. There's hundreds of thousands of women that be in these comments talking about, and even videos talking about, where are all the good men at? How come? I can't believe. As a matter of fact, we just got through watching a video of a young lady in high school talking about how come guys don't come up no more? How come they don't approach? Man, it used to be this, and this. How come they don't do it? So I guess you've been living under a rock or something like that. Y'all, I guess, feel like because stuff isn't happening in your world, that it's not happening at all.
Okay, one of my guy friends was asking me about the dating culture, and I was trying to explain to him, and he was like, oh, the problem is men don't want to be provider anymore. So if the men recognize that other men don't want to be providers, it's over.
I was in the smoking area last night and my friend goes to me, I feel like creepy because I like the look of someone. Like, he didn't even try to talk to her. He just felt like a creep for even wanting to. And I think this big age of like anti-men, but not all men, and this like, it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend vogue. The men can see it, you know. Like, as someone that sometimes dates men, I do not want it to get to a point where men are afraid the good ones. My friend's a good one. Men are afraid to even speak to you. Like, can't we just make an agreement as femmes, as women? Like, sometimes men will talk to us, because what else do we expect? Like, because if you stop all of them, like, stopping the bad ones, true, yeah, great, good, but you're also stopping the good ones, and then where do we go? Do we have to talk to them? Because I'm not doing that. I'm not chasing a man. Yeah, come to me. I'll make the decision. Like, you can just brush off the, like, slightly uncomfortable ones. And obviously there's, like, levels to it. But, like, now I'm hearing people are even scared to even breathe in her direction. And I know there's some ladies in the back going, like, yes, as he should be. But, like, come on. Like, what do we expect? What, like, we need to find some middle ground here, because it's getting impossible out here. And like, where do we go from here? What do we expect them to do? Hello, can we have a meeting, please? Like,
Well, that's usually what happens. You guys, modern women, say a whole lot of stuff, and they ruin their chances of getting the person that they thought they were going to get. And so that's how you end up with videos like this, where, you know, you said too much and you did too much, and now what you said has consequences.
A lot of men just don't date anymore. Intimacy has become completely conditional. It's so funny because if a man fails to meet a woman's needs in a relationship, oh my gosh, she can post a video about it and there's thousands of comments of women in support of that. But if a man wants a little bit more physical touch in his relationship, he's the problem. He's the problem every time he has a need or want. Not only that, but a lot of men, once they actually commit to a woman, have noticed the intimacy drop to almost nothing or nothing. But her expectations out of the relationship grow or stay the same. How is that fair? Why would he want to date? He gets nothing that he wants out of it.
So I saw a report saying 82% of single men have officially clocked out of the dating game. And I know y'all think we're just being difficult, but honestly, half of us are just being humanitarians. I look at my bank account, my mental health, and this pile of laundry I haven't folded in over a week. I'm like, nah, I can't drag a beautiful woman into this circus. That'd be a crime. I'm not single because I can't find you. I'm single because I'm protecting your peace. You're welcome for not ruining your year.
Maybe you should try a man. Never know. Never know until you know. You know?
Here's my hot take on why there's a male loneliness epidemic. This is the first time ever in history that men had to actually work for a woman's attention, affection, love. They've always been girls. We just had no choice but to kowtow to them. But guess what, ladies? Ever since World War II, mark my words, they lined up all the hot, handsome, strong, smart, powerful men, and they put them on the front line. You want to call this a conspiracy theory? Isn't that how chess works? You play the long game. People get into power in the government and they sabotage it from the inside. Why is that so hard for people to understand? How is that a conspiracy? That's how chess is played, the long game. So ladies, the reason why we don't like men, it's not because they suddenly became girls. It's because this is the first time ever in history they had to actually work for our attention. And we don't need that anymore. Okay?
If a man got on that boat or that plane, he became a sitting duck. So they put him all on the front line. Have you seen any documentaries about them being on the boat or whatever it is and the door letting down and these men just getting mowed down? I don't think y'all comprehend in y'all's brains, in y'all's minds, walking knowing that it's going to be me today. There's no way. There's a 99% chance it's over for me. Your body, how can your body handle that type of fear? That type of anxiety, that type of emotion? Y'all sit here and y'all complain about, oh, well, my life is so hard because I had to bend over and pick up a diaper. But men they're riding, sailing to the front lines. And y'all are just saying, oh, why don't you go do that again? Why don't you? We need more men to do that again. While y'all sit at the house. Oh, we worked in the factories. We did this. Okay. All right. Since the work that y'all did in the factories, which by the way, I appreciate it. It was very important that you did that. But I wonder how many men would say, you know what? Y'all got it. You go over there in that boat and you get mowed down. And we'll be over here in the factories. Anything and everything here in the States that needs to be taken care of, we'll do it. Don't worry about it. We'll make sure y'all have all of the supplies that you need, all of the mail routes and anything and everything that you need. We'll take care of it. And maybe y'all stop talking stupid like that.
Good men don't cheat because they're buttholes. They cheat because they have been told no entirely way too many times. If you started out with a good man, you got married to a good man, and this good man was faithful for, 10, 20 years, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, he cheats, it was not because he was a cheater the entire time. And it was not because he was an a-hole the entire time you were married to him. He felt rejected. And once somebody gave him an ounce of that feeling of being wanted again, it sparked something inside of him that you killed years ago by telling him no to bedroom activities, by telling him you have a headache, your stomach is messed up, I don't know, insert excuse here. And that's what he heard for several months, maybe even years on top of each other, only getting it maybe once a year, maybe twice a month. Like, a man thrives off of intimacy, pound town, communicating these things and wanting to feel wanted. When you turn that off, you're creating a monster inside. He may look like he's your happy husband. He may do all the things, but I guarantee you he's on autopilot. And again, that one person that might show him an ounce of appreciation, an ounce of respect, an ounce of, oh, you look really good today, you smell nice, he is going to feel a type of way because you turned that off. That is on you. That is not on that man. And do I condone cheating? Absolutely not. But a man can only put up with so much for so long before something happens. And the reason why they don't step out before they cheat is because you have him by his balls. You have half of his 401k. You have a house with him. You're married to him, and you probably got kids. So when you walk away, you get the glow up with all the money, the house, and the kids because you take half of his shit, if not more. That is why men cheat and try to stay in the marriage. It's not math, science, people. It's very simple logic. And if more women understood this, maybe we would see less divorce.
These men want you to meet them where they're at, which is in the pits of hell or at a local coffee shop. And I'm not doing it. I'm not interested. Also, a walk date is like beyond me. I'm not getting my 10K steps in with you, sir. I don't give a fuck to do that. I view that as a low effort date. I don't want to meet a man that's showing low effort.
So gentlemen, is going on a coffee date the pits of hell to you? Do you think going on a walk with a woman means that you're low value and that you don't have worth? Well, let's discuss this. Ultimately, men are pushed to perform, they're pushed to become something they're not. And really and truly and ultimately, you are going to end up with someone, and the excitement will be when you're old and grey, going on a 10K walk and having coffee at a coffee shop. So why wouldn't you start there? But ultimately, it's not about performance, it's not about instant gratification, and it's not about grand gestures. What it's about is somebody that's genuinely wanting to connect with you. They want to find out about you. Does she love coffee? Let's go to a coffee shop. Does she love like sunset walks? Is she into cooking? Let's go to a cooking class. Does she like play? Let's, go to this new adventure thing that's to do with play. A man that's invested in you will be attuned to you. He will want to find out when was the happiest time of your life. What was your best date you've ever gone on? He will in tune to you and create something unique with you. For if you think the pits of hell isn't being taken out by a man who's got a Ferrari and taking you to the best restaurant like he's doing to every other woman, you're highly mistaken. It's not the money invested into you. It's the time, it's the effort, and it's the attunement. So men and women, please don't lose hope. You are valued by your creativity. You are valued by angels out there that want to know about you and your soul and want to create an experience that's magical, that can be created from nothing. If you can't afford to take a woman to a fancy restaurant, it doesn't mean you don't have value. It just means you can create something different and magical, and the right woman will love you for it. I love you. You've got this.